Hi, I'm Rob Dooling, and my testimony starts in Krasnodar, Russia, as a orphan. My aunt, who is a registered nurse, was going to Russia to adopt her own kids, my cousins, and she interacted with me right after I'd gotten out of eye surgery, and she sent pictures back to my now parents. And one of the things that I remember that my dad always says is that he looked at the photos and said, "That's my boy," and so they went to go adopt me. I grew up in a loving Christian family, but I struggled considerably because my norm was cheating, lying, stealing, and doing just about every bad thing you can possibly imagine. One of the turning points in my faith was winter camp during high school. It was a winter camp where I took my faith as my own. It wasn't just my parents' faith, and it was the beginning of me really trying to figure out what Jesus was all about and how to live for him. After high school, I entered one of the most difficult periods of my life where I got into an incredibly toxic relationship, and I became very rebellious, significantly more so towards my parents, to the point where I just about destroyed what little relationship I had left with both my parents and my brother. And I almost walked away from the faith at that time. And I remember there was a voice inside me saying that you can't walk away, that you're mine. After I got out of that relationship, God used circumstances of my parents leaving for Washington to restore my relationship with them. Our house in California was up for sale, and it was supposed to sell almost immediately. And it took 6 or 7 months for it to sell. And I remember at the time, one of the godly mentors in my life asked me why I thought that it took so long to sell the house. And I immediately knew that it was God restoring and repairing that relationship that I had with my parents, so that way they wouldn't leave immediately after I had destroyed the relationship with them. You would think that after all that I would faithfully follow Christ, but I still remember that the next 3 or 4 years I definitely spent wandering and kind of doing my own thing and really struggling with my faith. But I remember during that entire time that God kept reminding me that he was there and letting me know that he wasn't going to let go of me, that he didn't let go of me during my toxic relationship. He didn't let go of me when I destroyed my relationship with my parents, and he wasn't going to let go of me now. Many of you guys know Lewis Pounds and what an incredible guy he is, and I remember that he finally sat me down and said, "Rob, you're going to go work in the cafe. I know you're a barista, and you need to get plugged into a church." And it is exactly what I needed. And over the last year and a half now, God has been just absolutely growing my faith in ways that I can't even, I wish I could express to you how incredible it's been. And God continuously reminds me it's nothing to do with who I am or what I've done or what I can do, that it's all based on what he's done for me. And in the last year, God laid on my heart to be a part of pastoral ministry. And it's been exciting to move forward on that. And I'm excited to see what God has in store for me in the future. One of the greatest things that I get to ponder as my faith deepens with God is the fact that when I was just a little orphan, that I was just as significant to God as me when I was rebellious and walking away from God, and just as significant now as when I am pursuing Christ with my whole heart, and that none of my actions change how God feels and loves me. If you were to ask me how I would sum up my testimony in just a couple of words, I would say that I've been adopted into an earthly family, but I've also been adopted into God's family, and I've been brought from death to life and given a hope and a future.